Hello beautifuls, this is Aromie here. Almost about to choke on water, I'm sorry. But welcome back to Seduce Me Too. We're here with Faye on the cliff still, having our little picnic. And we're about to eat pig's imp stew thing, whatever. But that's nasty.
I am so sorry. At least you didn't eat it, right?
I nodded, shaking out my nerves and calming down. Thank God I didn't eat it. Faye let out a sigh and leaned back on their arms, looking up at the sky above us.
You know, for a human, you are pretty good with magic.
I looked over at them and tilted my head. Where was this coming from? Faye, I only really know 2 spells.
So, there are some demons who only know 1 spell. You know 2! That's better than 1, right?
I was surprised, but I nodded. There were demons like that? Faye let out a sigh.
There are all kinds of magic in the universe, you know? For you to master demon magic, let alone fairy magic, that's a really cool talent.
I smiled, happy to know that I was being seen as talented. Something about hearing a demon telling me that I was talented when it wasn't my fiance made me feel really special. Faye reached between me and brought us out the bottle, popping the cork and offering it to me.
Want some?
What is it?
A brew from where I was born. Salafion. It's good, I promise.
Sure, why not? Might as well. I gently took the bottle from Faye and lifted it to my lips, taking a sip and being surprised at the taste. If it was alcohol, it definitely didn't taste like it. A gorgeous mixture of berries and mineral water danced along my tongue, revealing a hint of some spice I couldn't recognize. It went down like water and spurred me to take a good swig before passing it back to Faye, wiping my lip. Wow, that's amazing.
I know, right?
Faye cheered before lifting it up and chugging a good decent of it down. We shared the bottle, only limited to that 1 bottle, and enjoyed the state of my own euphoria it gave us. As we sat back, we let out a simultaneous sigh.
You know, something's wrong with Diana.
There it was. I looked over to Faye to see them still gazing into the air, cheeks slightly pink from the drink they had, but they continued to speak naturally.
I have this thing, like, I can sense danger and stuff, and lately, Diana's been flaring up for me like no tomorrow, you know? Like, she's
She's what?
like she's turning into the demon lord or something. She's growing more, quick to make angry, maybe.
I could tell that this was the reason why Faye needed to leave the castle. This concern was definitely one Faye needed to figure out, or at least vent about it. Diana seemed to be close to them. What do you think could have changed her?
I don't know. I mean, she's always kind of been a, I guess, passionate person. You know, since she hates the demon lord and stuff. But she's mostly been pretty nice and stuff until recently.
Really? She was nice even when you met her?
Really? Especially when I met her. I went to her after my entire clan was burned and, well, she kinda took me in and asked me to help her in the war. I was the first person besides for her guard to work with her.
That was an interesting story. Well, it was sad what happened to Faye's clan. They seemed to have moved on and were okay with where they were. Faye tilted back and lounged back on the blanket.
I've pretty much been there ever since the war started. I've never seen her get so angry and stuff. At least not to the point where she suddenly, poof, burst into flames.
That does seem a bit odd. I became concerned for Diana too. Would she be okay? She was leading a large rebellion against a murderous psychopath, so it seemed to come with a job. But if Faye watched her and saw this change, then what could have sparked it? I shook my head and fell back on the sheet beneath us as well. Staring into the open sky, I couldn't spend my time thinking about it. I was out to relax with Faye, and they seemed to want to get off the topic now that they had said their piece. Relaxed there, chatting away at random topics until it was time to head back, practice a bit of what I knew, and separate for the night. Hopefully things would be settled soon. I finally arrived at my room, but as soon as I entered, something wasn't right. I felt something was off from just stepping inside, but there was no one there. Was I just exhausted, imagining things? I cautiously entered, looking around. Nothing seemed to be out of place visually, but my nerves felt on edge. What was happening? Hello? Despite feeling silly speaking into an empty room, I had to see if anything or anyone would respond. Maybe they were hiding. Maybe something was creeping around and would be surprised by my voice. There was no response, but I still didn't feel easy. Something was seriously wrong. Leave the room or investigate. This is like a horror movie choice, right? Go into the haunted house or leave the haunted house. Well, obviously we would want to leave the room. But then curiosity bites, right? Investigate. But then I feel like we'll be hurt. I hate these choices, man. I'm horrible with choices. Let's leave the room. I didn't want to deal with whatever this feeling had in store for me. I quickly turned on my heel and rushed for the door, only to have it slammed closed as I approached. Huh? I grabbed at the handle, pulling it roughly. The door would not budge, intensifying my panic. I began to beat on the door, trying to bust it down, but the wood somehow became stronger than steel. See, so either way, even if I went to investigate, the door probably would have shut, and I would try to run at it, right? Despite this, the energy in the room suddenly froze. What? I looked around, now unsure what to think. Whatever was here had succeeded in trapping me, so I needed to deal with it with whatever it was. Baring my teeth and stepping further into the room, I scanned the room for any movement. Who's there? What do you want? Come out here, chicken butt.
You do not belong here, human.
Oh god. The voice that replied sent fear rushing through my body. That legit like sent a shiver down my spine. That's so creepy. I looked around to try and pin down the direction of the voice, but it seemed to just echo around the room. Who are you? What do you want? I'm assuming it's an angel.
You meddle in things beyond your comprehension. Why must you attempt to toy with destiny?
Are you subtle? I remained silent for a moment. This was an angel speaking English to me. I didn't know why it was speaking to me now after they had attempted to wipe my memories and haunt me. Still, at least I would be able to learn more as to why. I glared into the room and continued to look around. I'm not toying with anything. James chose to stay with me, and he and I are going to be married.
Rachel's fate has been set. You have no place in it.
Before I could react, I felt myself become enveloped in chains. I looked down to see my entire body wrapped in lines of white and gold chains, squeezing me tightly, and I winced in pain.
Your mind is protected. But the spell will not last. Once it is fated, you will be properly baptized.
Excuse me?
Love, what is going on in there?
Oh, I could hear James. I stared at the door, hearing James bang against it from the other side. The door was locked from the outside, too. I glared at the door before shutting my eyes and calling out his true name. Rastro? Is that how I say it? With a flash of bright light, James appeared inside the room, shocked but suddenly enraged at seeing me in chains. Before he could rush forward to help me, however, his body was wrapped in chains as well. Well, this is great.
What is this?
You cannot defy your destiny, demon.
My destiny?
I pulled against the chains around me, hoping to somehow break free. Despite it being to no avail, I continued to thrash him
Your
forward.
destiny is to rule this world. You cannot escape it.
My destiny is of my own making!
Your destiny is set in stone.
The room around us began to glow and blind us, and we were forced to shut our eyes tightly.
No matter. We will cleanse you both soon enough.
Well, isn't this kind of like being forced onto us? I did not sign for approval of this. I could feel the chains drag me beneath the ground and into some sort of space. Cold waves rushed against my skin as I was dragged through a void I could not see. Where were we being taken? I didn't know how long I was out for. I had no way to tell how long I had been unconscious. All I knew was that James and I were in trouble. What was going to happen now that we were prisoners of the angels? Nervousness sank into my mind as I could do nothing but float in the empty darkness created by the angels who had confined me in a cocoon of chains. Slowly my nerves came back to life and I found myself awakening from the dark. What I didn't expect was to no longer feel chains around me, but soft familiar silk beneath me. What? I rubbed my eyes and slowly opened them to see a familiar gray ceiling. It couldn't be. No. What? We're home! Sitting up, my heart caught in my chest. I was back in my room. I was in the human world. How was this possible? Where was James? I jumped out of my bed and rushed for the door, pulling it open. James? I called out but heard no response. I rushed to my lobby and looked around to see it still intact. The air felt familiar and real, and I wasn't imagining things I couldn't have been. At the same time, I knew the curse, hadn't been fulfilled or lifted. I couldn't have returned to the human world unless I died. Was I dead? I began to panic. What was going on? My heart stopped at the sound of Diana's voice, more so from the moan that somehow reached my ears. I turned to where the sound came from, realizing the direction. The library? I rushed over and quickly pushed the door open, running inside. What I saw made my heart tear instantly in two. On the ground were Diana and James, both in demon form, embracing each other. James had his face buried in Diana's neck as she clawed at his back, arching against him and moaning into the air. This couldn't be real. This wasn't real. Pinch yourself. Before I could scream, time seemed to freeze, causing the room and world around me to become still. I looked around, realizing that I could still move and turn away from the sight.
Do you know why I am showing this to you, human?
Because that's what was supposed to be real? Fuck you, or no. Say fuck you to an angel? I mean, she is kind of angry, but let's be cute about it. No. I had to become. This was an illusion, a dream. The angel speaking to me made that perfectly clear.
This was the time when rightful was destined to return to the abyssal planes. Isaiah would have convinced him to go home, and they would have consummated their engagement before returning to take their birthrights.
No.
It is the truth. The only event that stopped it from happening was your voyeurism and intrusion.
So if it didn't do any of this, James and Diana would have sex in my library at my house. Really? I would have kicked them out. I will not let him go.
How selfish. Humans are all selfish creatures. But that is to be expected when safety is handed to them on a silver platter.
What? The angel was toying with me, and I despised hearing every word it spoke. I turned back around and focused my attention on James, knowing that this was fake, and remembering the real scenario.
Do you understand the full consequences of your actions?
Well, you're showing me the butterfly effect, aren't you? I regret nothing. Obviously. I put my final word, the room went black and began to reek of blood. I started to gag and cover my mouth and nose at the horrid smell. What was happening now? Where did the angels take me? I followed Diana's voice to see a crack of light slowly open, revealing Diana. Her face was painted with worry and concern, but upon opening the door, her expression shifted from concern to absolute broken shock. From the light of the door, I was able to see the room I was in. Blood covered every surface, gore decorated every inch, and I was standing a couple of feet from the center where three objects laid. Oh, is it when her parents were killed? Barely coated in blood, at the center were two broken adult-sized crowns, and a smaller crown large enough to barely fit a newborn's head. Diana's eyes darted throughout the room, both in disbelief and in utmost horror. She barely forced herself to step into the room, dropping to her knees in front of the items and bringing them to her chest.
No! No!
My heart broke at the sight of Diana. Tears were streaming down her face as she clutched the crowns against her chest.
Your selfishness cost a kingdom their beloved rulers, and a daughter her only family.
Don't do this guilt trip on me now, alright? I couldn't say anything. I wanted to fight and shout back that I still didn't regret taking James away. But seeing Diana completely broken silenced any will to speak.
I see that you're beginning to understand.
You're just guilt tripping me, alright? What's done is done, or stay silent. No, let's just stay silent. There's nothing I could say. Any desire to fight back was dissolved by Diana's sobs and cries.
However, your choice to defy destiny has done more damage than this.
Before my eyes, the room vanished once again. I found myself surrounded by flames. What the?
Burn everything to the ground!
I looked around, trying to find the source and direction of the voice. This was just an illusion, but the heat of the flames seemed too real to ignore or shake off.
This was the last thing many lives were forced to see before dying at the hands of the madman demon lord.
Stop it, bro. This is not cool. I didn't ask to sign up to see what happened. I gripped my head, shutting my eyes tightly. I didn't want to see anymore. I didn't want to be here any longer. If this was the angel's torture, this was truly unbearable.
Do you not see the price of your selfishness? You are the sole reason why millions of lives have been lost. You are the sole reason why an entire world is burning.
Well then, Mr. Angel, we're gonna stop right here. Cause things, everything already happened. I don't know why the angel is showing us this. It's not like the angel can go in a time machine and then rewind everything. So I don't understand why he's torturing us right now. Like, all these events already happened. Unless he can do some magic. But everything already happened. Why is he showing us this? Things already done. Which is why I'm really confused. Like, yeah, it was all horrible, but it already happened. Unless the angel can somehow do a time machine and make everything go back to normal, starting of like game 1, I don't think. I don't understand. At the end of the day, we're still gonna be with James, even though it's really horrible how we got together because of all the like after effects, the domino effects after was horrible. But at the end of the day, everyone gets matched up. Diana's gonna be with Settle. We're gonna be with James, and all the other brothers have their wives. So, angels, back off, okay? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.